Brian Goodman is here to tell us a little bit more about Injustice 2. It is a massive title. It's getting closer and closer. I don't mean to scare you, Brian, but you got to ship this soon, right?
Okay, yeah, right around the corner.
Yeah, how are you guys feeling over there?
We're feeling great. Yeah, the game is really shaping up. We introduced Dr. Fate today, and that's very exciting. A new character to the Injustice franchise for us. So, yeah, everything's going really well.
Awesome. Now, I want to, obviously it's been a while since we played the last Injustice game. You guys have been busy. You sort of go to Mortal Kombat for a little while, and then you come back to Injustice. Are you going to catch everybody up on the story? Because a lot has gone down since Injustice 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Injustice 2 story is sort of taking off from where we left Injustice, Gods Among Us. Superman is in the Red Sun prison, and there's a lot of fallout from what went down in the first game, and we're looking at how Batman and his allies, Superman and his allies are sort of trying to make sense of it all, and that fight for power. And in the midst of that, as we've alluded to in some of our trailers, there's a new threat coming in with Brainiac, and they have to figure out how to handle that situation as well.
For the people out there that, have this question about superheroes fighting, because it feels like superheroes are fighting a lot these days, why are they fighting in this game? Why is everybody not getting along at all in the Injustice world?
It's a good question. Within our storyline, we sort of frame it as this sort of existential question of, what is more important, to have absolute safety or liberty and justice. So these very broad themes, but they fit very well with sort of the archetypes that these characters have always represented. And with Injustice, we've had a lot of fun kind of subverting those archetypes, the characters as people have come to know them over the years. We're able to play with that a little bit, and that's been a lot of fun for us. But that also breeds the conflict that we're seeing in the story.
Awesome. You guys, you kind of broke new ground with a lot of the storytelling that you've been doing in both of your games. What have you learned through the progress of building these story modes, and what is being applied to Injustice 2 that we have never seen before in a story mode?
Quite a bit. Obviously, building a story mode into a fighting game is a challenge unto itself. And,
sure.
First
Just ask Capcom.
First and foremost, we want to make sure that we're telling a great story. And then obviously it has to also fit with the dynamics of the game, the mechanics of the game. What we've learned really is, making sure that the story itself is compelling, and we always want to bring something fresh, something new. So we are adding some new elements to story mode. There's going to be a little bit more autonomy, some player choice that's built into this game. We'll be talking about that a little bit down the line in the future, but you're definitely going to see some new stuff as you go through this story mode.
That's awesome. There is real consequence in the stories of your games, and particularly Injustice for comic book fans. Life and death stuff. Are we going to see those same kinds of shocks in Injustice 2?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I know that Ed Boon, our creative director, he's talked about this in the past, but the end of our story campaign in this game, I think, is going to be quite shocking. I think a lot of people are going to be very intrigued by how this story wraps up.
That's awesome. Now, last year at Comic-Con, I was lucky enough to moderate a panel about Injustice 2. And the fervor for characters is crazy. And even like any association that I have with Ed Boon on Twitter, my Twitter blows up with people freaking out about what to ask about the characters that are coming. Do you guys have some kind of whiteboard or some kind of do you take bets? Is there some kind of pool on what characters people are going to ask the most for, and does that change? And are people going to be happy with your roster? Are people going to be placated? Those very vocal people out there.
We certainly hope so. I mean, we obviously have to take into account a ton of factors when we're putting the roster together. Obviously it needs to serve the story that we're trying to tell, but we absolutely listen to the community. One of the things that we're always trying to do is we deliver on what's expected. You have Batman, you have Superman. You can't have this game without those characters. But we really wanted to kind of dig deep and get some deep cuts out of the DC universe and put into this roster. We've already announced some characters like Cheetah, like Dr. Fate. These are Black Canary. These are characters, and it's amazing to us because pretty much every character in the DC universe, you can see some sort of like cult following for all of these characters. So every time we announce a new character to the game and to the franchise, there's a huge outpouring of excitement because there is a pocket of fans for every character that's going to be like super excited about this. So.
I played the beta and I had a blast with the game. I was really surprised how much I could kick ass as Blue Beetle in that sucker.
Yeah.
He's a real tough little son of a... I mean, he was destroying my Batman. I of course started as Batman in the thing, and I played this guy who was playing Blue Beetle, and he just took me all over town, and I was so humiliated. But then I started playing as Blue Beetle and started cleaning house.
He's a lot of fun. I've been gravitating towards him as well.
Yeah.
You know, the first thing that we're making sure we're accomplishing is we're making an awesome fighting game. So, you know, design has had a blast using the personalities, using the fighting styles that we've seen through comics and through all of the pop culture where all of these characters have been portrayed, and really trying to just push out the best, coolest fighting game characters that we can out of these characters.
Do you guys have, you know, obviously you have comic book fans, but do you have comic book nerds at NetherRealm that will say, no, excuse me, no, there's no way that Superman would have that kind of armor and that kind of Batman? I mean, are people that
I won't go so far as to say exclusively.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, this game, working on these characters, is like a dream come true for so many people in the studio.
Yeah.
Not only that you're digging through everything that has come before, but really given the opportunity. And DC has been just an awesome partner in not only in supporting us, but encouraging us to, you know, really make this our own universe and have some freedom to kind of play with the personalities and the traits of these characters and make Injustice the way we have been.
Awesome. Well, this time, obviously, the gear is a big part of the gameplay, and you mentioned it as a meta game.
Yeah.
You customize to your heart's content, but the gear also gives you powers and abilities that you can then take into battle. The last game, you had kind of variations of the same character from different dimensions or different worlds sort of meeting. Is the gear in this game kind of taking that away? Or are we still going to have, without spoiling too much, maybe some surprise guests from alternate realities?
Well, you know, something that we haven't really talked about yet and will be divulging more information on later, but DC's multiverse does come into play in Injustice 2.
Cool.
As far as the types of characters, you know, with the gear system, what we're trying to do is supply a system to all players that they're really customizing these characters to look the way they want them to look, to play the way they want them to play.
Yeah.
So from a gameplay standpoint, you know, we're offering a ton of freedom, a ton of choice for players to sort of develop this universe as they see fit and, you know, within their vision. So
I saw in the little bit of story mode that I played today, and I actually was shocked at a sequence. So congratulations on that. I was like, whoa, that was very cool. But it kind of explained why Superman in the chapter 1, why Superman would need armor fighting a character like Batman. But do you want to explain that? Can you explain why Superman would need to have any kind of accoutrement?
That is something that we are very excited for all of our players to discover.
I guess that's the challenge here, right? We want to give people a little bit of info. We don't want to spoil it all, right?
Exactly, yeah.
When's this game coming out, man?
This game will be out May 16th, 2017, right around the corner.
It's right around the corner, and I can't wait to play it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for checking out that video on our EPN channel. It's just one small part of the things that we make around here. So if you liked it, don't forget to check out some of our other vids and hit that subscribe button.